I never thought I'd be able to do this. When I think back, it's remarkable. I was a quiet and shy kid. I never would have guessed that I'd be able to step out of my comfort zone like this to build a business online in the second half of my life. So, the first myth that I want to shift for you is that feeling that you lack technical skills. And you might. I mean, that very well might be true. You may not know how to do that. But what often comes up when we're not quite sure of how to do something technically is we get the idea in our heads that, oh, I'm just not technical. Then we pack it up and we go home, and that's the end of it. But I'd like you to consider shifting that mindset today. And instead of saying, oh, I'm just not technical, just saying, I just don't know something. And I get this. Women like you and me, starting your own business can be overwhelming. That's why I wanted to hop on today to give you 3 mindset shifts to help you go from I can't to I can. Make sure to come on to my newsletter, successwithkarenb.com, and sign on to my newsletter. Who were born at a certain time before Facebook was around, before home computers or any of the electronics that we've come to rely on has been around. So we may not be comfortable with technology as our kids, grandkids, and so forth. But that doesn't mean that we can't get good at it, that we can't get comfortable at it. There are trainings out there. There are courses out there. There are people waiting to help you to get you up to speed, so to speak, on what's going on out there so you can build your business. This is not a question of I'm not technical, so never mind. This is a question of just filling in a couple of gaps that you just may not have. So, the second myth that I want to address is this whole idea of fearing failure. Yes, fear of failure is a real thing. For that matter, so is fear of success. And I get that, especially if you were successful in your 9 to 5 job. Maybe you're still successful in your 9 to 5 job. Maybe you weren't so successful. Maybe you weren't as successful as you wanted to be. It doesn't really matter. These are all stories. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of success. And you might be, but there's stories that we tell ourselves. Just like I'm not technical. We believe that we're afraid of failure and that keeps us back. But again, they're just stories that we tell ourselves. And because we hear it in our heads, we believe them. But what if we start questioning those limiting beliefs? What if? Case in point, this week I was getting ready to do a video. I'm part of a 30-day blitz. This is part of what it is. And today is this Facebook is part of my assignment. But I was getting ready to do a different video earlier in the week. And all these thoughts were in my head. People aren't going to like what I say. I don't know what I'm doing. All these things. And deep down, I knew they weren't true, but I heard them anyway, and they sounded really convincing. What I found myself doing was with each objection that came up, I found myself literally saying to myself, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. Because I realized that these are just stories that I've told myself from years ago. And it is now time to start telling myself a new story. So I invite you to do the same thing. Think about those limiting beliefs as they start coming up. Oh, I'm afraid people won't like what I have to say. Oh, I'm afraid I don't know what to say. Oh, I'm afraid whatever. whatever. I'm afraid that I'll fail. I failed more times than I want to admit. I have. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again, as the song goes. So I invite you to start questioning those limiting beliefs. And you might end up finding that you might surprise yourself. The third belief I want us to look at today is this whole notion of lack of time. In my experience, time is fluid. Now, the reality is you actually might have very little time. You might have a lot of family responsibilities. You may still have a 9-to-5 job. There might be all of that stuff going on. That's true. You may find it hard to section off hours at a time to build your business, and that might be true too. But you know what I found also to be true is that when I don't want to do something, it's amazing how little time I have to do it. Amazing. Is that something that you do? What I've come to discover is that when that happens, there's usually fear underneath it. For months, I didn't have time to do a Facebook Live. I just didn't have the time. I was busy doing this. I was busy doing this. I was busy doing this. With this 30-day challenge that I'm doing, this 30-day blitz, it's amazing. All the things that I was doing, I'm still doing them. And I'm doing video every day. It's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. In fact, I love this quote from Lucille Ball. And this quote, it spoke to me when I first heard it. It speaks to me now. She said, if you want something done, ask a busy person. Busy people know how to manage their time. So back to what I was saying about this whole notion of the lack of time. My mentor taught me that even if you are busy all day and really think you don't have a minute to grow your business, in fact, you do. You can take 15 minutes during the day, maybe during your lunch break as you're eating, to go into a Facebook group, connect with people there. Go into people's stories for 2 minutes a day. That's all that's needed. And start building know, like, and trust. Start making connections. Start getting yourself out there. Maybe if you have time, hop onto Facebook and do a 1-minute Facebook Live. And if that feels too scary, that's okay. That could be a goal that you work into. And I hope you all are starting to see that you can shift your mind, even by a degree, can make all the difference. I hope you got value for this. Make sure to click the link below, successwithkarenb.com. You will find low cost, no cost resources there for you. Learn how to market yourself like a pro, and I'm going to help you. Grab the first tab. It's a 14-day trial for $1 to what I consider to be the best platform out there for teaching you how to grow your business. Market like a pro. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.